Welcome back to the Armenian Museum of America. I'm Gary Lind-Sinanian. I'd like to share some other objects from our collection with you. These objects were donated to the museum from Project SAVE, Photograph Archives, which is a different Armenian organization. They collect mostly photographs. And Francis Palian had donated this photograph to them. They have the original in their collection. And it's her as a little girl in an orphan camp. And you see the smock she's wearing, very typical. Girls wear the smocks to protect their clothing. And she's holding some objects. In the picture, you see this little outfit she's wearing, the vest. This is the vest she was wearing in the photograph. And you notice that gold embroidered, the fancy designs on it. And one of the interesting things about this vest is that there's a blue bead right here. And on each of these little buttons, there's a blue bead. And a blue bead, of course, is the protection against the evil eye. And in traditional Armenian culture, there was always a great fear that the evil eye is going to hurt children. So it was very typical to put blue buttons on the clothing of children in order to protect them. And so this is very much a protection against the evil eye. Also in this photograph, she's holding a little object here. This is the object. It's a little purse. It's made out of beads, very small, to hold a little bit of change. A little bit larger would be for a pocket watch, but this is basically just to hold little objects. And an inscription in Armenian on the front and the back. And basically it says, "To all my loved ones, be happy." And in the middle of the little star-shaped object here, this center here, again, a little blue bead on the back and the front. So there's kind of a conflict of messages here in that they're telling the people to be happy. And remember, these are children who had been through the genocide. They had been terribly traumatized. And they're trying to encourage them to focus on the best, on the good, not to be obsessed with what they had gone through, but to try to focus on positive things. And so this would help to reinforce the positive things. But at the same time, the blue bead is there to protect you from evil. So there was this message of the positive story and the negative, the war to protect you against evil in this kind of piece here. This is probably made by orphans. But in the camps, they learned how to do various kinds of handcrafts. So they would make their own clothing. The boys would make the shoes for everybody. And this is probably made by children. And this is another ornament made by children. A little dangling piece here. And as I mentioned, this beadwork was a very common practice at the time. So these were examples of children's crafts industries that were used after the genocide. The Armenian Museum is here to share our stories, our history, our culture with you, the public. We thank you for joining us. We thank Michelle Collegian, the president of the board, for making this series of talks possible, where we showcase various objects from the museum. I hope you can come to the museum. And if you can't come here physically, then you join us virtually by going to our website and looking at the exhibitions there. We've got some great exhibits. We talks about various objects in the collection, concerts online, and other things that the museum does. Until next time, stay safe.